After Tuesday's deadly attack on Gaza, in which more than 400 people were killed, Israel on Wednesday launched a fresh wave of strikes in the region and issued a last warning to Gazans to return the hostages and remove the Hamas from power. While the US held Hamas responsible for the resumption of the hostilities, several world leaders expressed alarm and concern over the crisis. India has also expressed deep concern over the situation in Gaza and has called for urgent need for the release of all hostages and the continuous supply of humanitarian aid to the region. Here's more in this report.
Anti-government protesters chanting slogans and waving flags while demonstrating outside Israel's parliament, the Knesset, in Jerusalem. They were calling for a hostage deal and opposing the resumption of the war in Gaza. A number of people were killed in airstrikes across Gaza overnight, after Israel said it was resuming combat operations in the Palestinian territory. Israel's military confirmed that air and naval forces launched overnight strikes on multiple targets in Gaza. The IDF reported hitting a Hamas military site in northern Gaza and striking Palestinian Islamic Jihad vessels off the coast. It comes after Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said fighting would resume in full force and added, "This is just the beginning."
Israel will fight and Israel will win. We will bring our people home and we will destroy Hamas. We will not relent until we achieve all these vital goals. And we will not rest until we give our country a future of peace, prosperity, and hope.
The United States said responsibility for the resumption of hostilities in Gaza lies solely with Hamas, and the US supports Israel in its next steps.
The blame for the resumption of hostilities lies solely with Hamas. This brutal terrorist organization has steadfastly refused every proposal and deadline they've been presented over the past few weeks, including a bridge proposal to extend the ceasefire beyond Ramadan and Passover, to allow time to negotiate a framework for a permanent ceasefire.
India on Wednesday expressed deep concern over the situation in Gaza. In a statement released by the Ministry of External Affairs, New Delhi called for the urgent need for the release of all hostages and the continuous supply of humanitarian aid to the region. World leaders have expressed alarm and concern at the series of Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas said on Wednesday that she told Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar that the situation in Gaza is unacceptable. The French President Emmanuel Macron and the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer expressed deep concern over the crisis and called for a permanent end to hostilities and the release of all hostages in Gaza.
Israel's airstrikes are a tragic step backward. There is no military solution in Gaza.
I'm deeply concerned about the resumption of Israeli military action in Gaza. The images of parents carrying their children, young children, to hospitals have emerged over the last few days are truly shocking, alongside the sheer number of people who've been killed. And we will do all that we can to ensure the resumption of the ceasefire, to get the remaining hostages out and to get aid that's desperately needed in.
Meanwhile, Hamas said it is open to talks on getting the ceasefire back on track, but will not negotiate the agreement that took effect on January 19. Raghav Kumar Jha reports for DD India.